afternoon, Internet. How you doing? I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic, here with another RWBY review. We're finally here at the midway point of the season, and so far, it's been pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, but last episode did give us some hope in the form of
the Bumblebee ship canonization.
I really don't like you.
No, you idiot! But to the reason and the ship. Actually, it was the fact that Rooster Teeth finally decided to get their crap together and deliver some plot progression alongside their signature character development.
And like this idiot mentioned, the Bumblebee Kryptonite was our main focus for much of the episode, as Blake and Sun finally arrived at Menagerie, where Sunshine discovers that he's dating somebody who's loaded.
The Black Sun will never rise. Stop trying to kill the Bumblebees, you monster.
However, it doesn't seem like he will be getting the blessing from Daddy any day soon, as we met the rest of the feline family and Blake's mother Callie and her father Gira, who, as shown before, isn't that fond of Sun's puns. Which, coming to think about it, doesn't bode well for Yang either.
Can't tell if I'm happy about that, or mad that he won't like my waifu.
Anyways, it was there that our two furry friends discovered that not only do much of the other kingdoms not know what really happened in Vale, but that the White Thing played a part in it. Sun also learned that there are several branches to this organization, and that apparently Adam Tarsus has splintered off from High Leader Khan. But he might not be the only ones. Though we have other menacing things to worry about, as RWBY and the gang might find a particular psycho hot on their tail.
And it looks like things are only beginning to heat up, so grab yourself some popcorn and start chugging that too, because this is going to be good. Like, hold on! Why are you holding a rose?
It'll become apparent soon enough.
Okay, well, roll the clip, pal.
Skip! We return with our four musketeers, where we get a weirdly delivered confession from RWBY, as she admits that, well, when it came to this journey to the east, she really doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She and the riders. Because why you didn't just fly is beyond me. Shut up, it doesn't count. However, this is interrupted as the group comes across another ruined town.
We should search for survivors.
The map? You guys are forgetting the map again! God damn it! How hard would it be to shove that thing in your pocket? Well, anyways, this time the four discovered that the town wasn't destroyed, but abandoned, as Ren recognizes its name. He explains that it was a similar situation to Mountain Glen, where those that weren't happy with the way that things were run in Mistral decided to create a place of their own.
Many thought it would be the future. I know my parents did.
However, the people were then forced to flee as Grimm eventually found their way to this developing town.
Not just anyone.
As some birds fly overhead, Jean suggests that they keep moving, and as they do so, we cut to an opera. Jeez, talk about your tone shifts.
Well, as Casey Williams sings her heart out again, I am left to wonder how this voice
This is dust.
turns into this voice.
As her song comes to a close, the audience applauds, along with Shitley here, though Jacques is less than impressed, especially since her entire song was pretty much,
My dad really sucks, you're not the boss of me. I'm living my own life, that's my philosophy. And if you don't like me calling you corrupt, then you can stick these lyrics right up your butt. Cause my dad really sucks. Yeah. Thank you, I'll be here all weekend.
My ears are bleeding. And I don't even have ears. How is that physically possible?
We then cut to a lovely little banquet hall where all the finest folks in the land chat about the weather, how lovely that dress is, or in Jacques' case, how he's a greedy little capitalist that clearly pays his filthy faunus a fair wage. Sort of. Well, Weiss is not having any of this stupidity, but is stopped by her father's worries that she might hurt his reputation.
I'm just a little thirsty. I'll be right back, I promise.
Look, no one asked them to move here.
I'm sorry, I tuned out for a second, but sounds like I'm the good guy again.
Jack's a cock, we get it.
However, even though she's away from her father, Weiss just can't seem to escape assholes, as blue-haired McNutt Neptune annoys the Ice Queen with his stupid puns.
It's beautiful. You two match. So, that was my attempt at breaking the ice. How am I doing so far?
Give it up, you cock. You ain't got no hope against the SS White Rose.
Well, as the sign for the charity painting shows, no one is actually here to help the kingdoms, as they're more interested in helping themselves, which begins to annoy our little snow princess, but not as much as a note from some blonde bimbo who claims that Vale got what they deserved for trying to be so independent and right-winged and trigger happy.
If they're so arrogant to think they can get by without proper kingdom defense, then I say good riddance.
Shut up!
Weiss?
You don't have a clue! None of you do! You're all just standing around talking about nothing!
Weiss, that's enough.
Let go of me!
You're embarrassing.
I said let go! Please, I'm sorry!
Looks like someone didn't even get into the Prometheus school of running away from things. Sadly though, the dumb blonde is saved by a shot from Daddy Ironwood, who admits that his maybe daughter is the only sensible one in this puppet show before peacing out. We then return to our four travelers, leaving only Yuri, when Ren stops them as his Jedi ninja senses begin to tingle. Suddenly out from the buildings, Crazy McCrabarms leaps in front of the group, clearly looking for a fight. Before explaining that they have no quarrel with this stranger, asking who he is.
Who I am matters not to you, or well, you do interest me.
Rape alert! Rape alert! Cover your butthole, John!
I only matter to you.
Me?
This answer sends Tyrian into fits of giggles, explaining that he's here to whisk her away.
We're not going to let you do that.
John!
The fight is then on, and the four swiftly learn just how quick this hobo is. So Ruby decides to give one of them a little boost. The surprising move confuses Tyrian, which gives Nora a chance to land a hit, only to learn that he's got a few tricks up his pants too. Seeing that he's a faunus, the gang demands to know what the White Fang wants with Ruby, only for Tyrian to scoff at the toy soldiers, saying that he is here for the goddess.
Cinder.
Only in her wildest dreams.
With his third arm free now, the Psycho begins wrecking shop, beating Ruby to the ground. He then prepares to deliver a final blow, as her team does literally nothing to stop it. But I guess they knew that someone else had Ruby's back with his own.
Yeah, and with that awesome entrance, the episode is over, and Crow, you may be a little bit on the short side when it came to a timely arrival, but you're one badass bird!
I expect nothing less from movies, maybe, Daddy.
And what an apt way of ending the episode is, it kind of reflects on how we feel. Happy that the show is finally getting back to being good. Now I say good because there's always going to be a few things it got wrong, but it got a lot more right. Kind of making it feel like the old RWBY again.
And the first recall to the past comes to us in the form of Weiss's lament. I know I joked about it, but right now I'm going to take a leaf out of my old videos and look at those lyrics, as now they may actually have some relevance. Now what we heard was literally the last chorus, but it does sum up the song fittingly. I am not your pet, not another thing you own. Speaks to what I've been saying, that Jacques does not see his family as those precious to him, but instead as property there to only bolster his own standing. I was not born guilty of your crimes actually calls back to Volume 1 when Weiss confronted Blake, explaining as best she could that because she was a Schnee, the sins of her father were not her own, yet they were still forced upon her. Your riches and your influence cannot hold me anymore. Is likely a bit of foreshadowing, explaining that not unlike her sister before her, this dove too will find herself free, both of her father and of the wealth that he cages her with. I won't be possessed. Again, just talks about how she's not his. But it's the burdened by your royal test that I'm interested in, as it directly calls back to the previous iteration. Perhaps it's some mention to a literal test, or more likely an analogy on how her royalty is a sort of test of her morals and resolve. And finally, I will not surrender. This life is mine. Is a clear, defiant declaration to not only this man, but to herself, that he may hold her wealth, he may have her kingdom, he may even still hold influence over the very clothes she wears. But her heart, her life, her soul will never be his.
And I didn't use that word iteration lightly, as though this song is titled This Life Is Mine, it starts with the familiar sounding words, Mirror, can you hear me?
Both instant classics that I have no shame in listening to over and over again. Sing, my beautiful dove. Soon you will be free.
Now, there is much more to this song, and I actually could spend an entire review going over it, and there's technically only one way you could make that a reality, but I'll just sum it up with this. Weiss is now at the breaking point. All her life, as Winter more or less expressed, she has needed her father's power and wealth to support her. Despite her signs of independence, she has always faltered when it came to leaving her family, as shown in the ending last time where she so easily returned home by her father's orders rather than stay with what was left of her friends. And again, we are literally being shown with just a single gesture that Jacques does see her as just an asset, a thing, something to look pretty, speak nothing, and make his company appear good. The way he tries to control her, truly caring little to nothing about what this might do to his little girl. Now, I'm not the kind of guy who wishes certain characters to die in horrible fashion just because they hurt the ones I love. See Cinder for example. For I am more interested in the intriguing interactions that we can glean from them. For me, nothing can be better than a morally complex character going through a pleasing arc that lands them on the right side.
However, I can understand why some of you out there would picture Jacques going the way of poor little Prince Mommy's boy.
Already way ahead of you. And then upon seeing his father reduced to a slushy puddle, his mind shattered, Shitley steps upon the windowsill and flutters down to the icy pavement below.
However, for the rest of the scene, it does feel a little forced, though still enjoyable through Weiss's perspective. Now, granted, it is a bit heavy-handed with the whole scene here declaring, "Capitalism bad, orange man bad." You get the point. But there is another side to that. True, not all those going into business are just looking to make money off of the pain of their fellow man. Hell, I go to say that most don't do that, and those that have reached this level of wealth still feel sympathy towards the less fortunate.
What part of not getting political did you forget about?
However, this is Weiss's tale, and I believe this was an excellent scene to set up a way for her to rise above it all. As she's told her friends, she knows all too well about the shady dealings her father has done. But though the sins of our fathers never rest on their shoulders alone, she will not let this be her family's legacy. So perhaps one day we will see this Snow Princess truly become the Ice Queen she was meant to be. That the Schnee family needs her to be. Speaking about her father's dirty dealings, we do get a brief confirmation and finally some legitimate proof that the Faunus are being mistreated. To a degree. No doubt the Lorax does treat his employees fairly, but I wouldn't put it past him to try and undercut things here and there to bolster his profits. Which wouldn't be a problem as he is the owner and carries all the risk, but don't tell me that he wouldn't even think twice about doing it to people that he knew he could get away with. I mean, he more or less thinks that he can get away with emotionally manipulating his own daughter, like she's nothing but another dumb blonde aristocratic bimbo. Though it seems like he may not be able to do that again, or at the very least, it may become too dangerous to do that again. Weiss's first summon is not only an achievement in her semblance, but an interesting look at her past. The first partial summon was of a Grimm, yes, apparently that was a Grimm, that she took down the first time we saw her. But the next creature she claimed wasn't until her demonstration in class, thanks to Ruby. And the effect is not only a great way to get back at that blonde bimbo, but possibly the first real sign that Weiss doesn't need her father anymore. For as her sister could stand on her own, now so can she.
God damn it! Not another one of my lollies! Stop it! Just think like Peter Pan, never growing up, never growing up, never growing. Damn it, internet, stop giving me reasons to like it!
Now the other half of this tale is about our four little rangers, where we got to see Ruby witness... Oh, so that's why you got the flower.
White Rose forever.
Never gonna happen.
Anyways, yes, I guess the guys at Rooster Teeth are pulling a Monty and making fun of you idiot shippers again, because the other half focuses on the junior forest protectors as they continue to witness the harshness of this land. Another ruined town, and while it looks like the people left before the Grimm came, it shows how even when they survive, lives are still destroyed. It's also here that we get another hint at our ninja's past, as he explains that it wasn't just an ordinary Grimm that destroyed his life. This could be a hint that, like with the Goliaths that we saw back in 2, some Grimm could not only get old enough to begin to have more intelligence than, ow, fire hot, but also can start taking on a mythos of their own. However, this is interrupted by the arrival of our not-so-loved lunatic, who I have to say is getting some mixed feelings. Not unlike he's sending out. On one hand, he's just not a good psycho. They need to be entertaining, and it seems like Miles and Carrie can't grasp the fact that you don't confuse crazy for being stupid. We understand that while the Joker's insane, he's still enough there to be an intellectual threat.
Unlike you.
But there's little to no intelligence coming from this clown. The way he speaks is less like somebody who's having the time of their life watching other people suffer, no matter who it is, and more like the usual anime garbage of a character trying to act crazy. It's like the contradictory requests that actors get when they're asked to act like they're lying. They technically already are lying, being actors and all, but now they have to show it, which usually comes in the form of them going above and beyond to such a degree that we feel like they're acting in a children's show for 3-year-olds. Which, I know some of them may have the mental capacity of a 3-year-old, but still. It's the same case here. However, again, I don't really give Josh Grell too much flack for this, as, again, he really hasn't played any kind of character like this before. As we've seen with so many other nutjobs in other shows, or even with the many portrayals of the Joker, it's not something that just anyone can pull off right away.
I mean, I don't hate Jared Leto's take on it. In fact, I kind of like a Joker that actually cares about my Harley. But he just couldn't bring out the psycho. Unless you're talking about the psycho that is Jared Leto.
Yeah, that dude was whack.
You're not too far from him.
Oh, please. I actually have some class. Wanna know how I got in this skull?
Yoga class gone wrong. In any case, it doesn't look good for Mr. Callows here going on if this is all he can bring to the table. But I will say that Rooster Teeth is getting better with their fight scenes. They're getting more impactful and fun to watch, even if they still slow everything down to a halt for a joke that we stopped laughing to hours ago. The real fight, however, has yet to begin, though while we wait, we can ask a few questions like, where the hell was this idiot when Ranger was getting his ass kicked? What, was he dealing with some grim 8 miles away? Or did he just pass out on some park bench? Again. Either way, he did manage to get there just in the nick of time thanks to his ability. But what is it? For the second time, we're seeing him turn into a bird, though this is the third time we're being shown it. The third might have been a cheekily revealed Raven back in episode 4, where we pretty much can tell from Crow's expression that that's her. Which would make some sense, as we're told that some families share a common semblance, and while it does give us a second illustration of that, it does raise another question. What was that whole portal thing about? Was it some sort of tech? Some sort of new dust combination? Or perhaps was it even magic? As we are told that does exist in this world.
Or perhaps you already know and you're just being an asshole.
Well, either way, it doesn't really matter too much. At least for now. Because I'm just happy that the show is back to putting out some good episodes.
And as for next week, we can look forward to a possible epic duel between the Crow and the Scorpion. I mean, well, yeah, I guess that wording works that way too. Anyways, my hopes are up and I'm really excited.
And that's the end of the review. Thank you all for watching. Please give a like and hit the subscribe button. It really does help. Also, don't forget to write a comment down below.
I second that. You are a boob.
Anyways, I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, no movie sacred, no video safe, but all deserve a chance. I'll catch you guys next time. Toodles!
My father was slaughtered by a six-fingered man. Was a great sword maker, my father. The six-fingered man slashed him through the heart. I love my father. I will go up to the six-fingered man and say, hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.